Alright, how's it going, everyone? Here it is. First video blog for mindernitesh.blogspot.com. Real quick recap of UFC 135. I mean, it was an exciting card. Yeah, Nate Diaz versus Takanori Gomi starting off the fight. Nate Diaz put in an armbar and ended in the first round. It was a great submission, great way to return to the octagon and show that, hey, I'm a lightweight once again, and I'm taking it very seriously. You had two heavyweight bouts that were entertaining, I guess you would call it. I mean, not really a lot of action going on. Might have been the altitude, but who knows. Then you had Josh Koscheck, one of the most hated men in the UFC by the fans. Fans don't like him. Fighters, I'm sure, respect him. I respect the hell out of him. I mean, guy took a fire in 19 days notice, and at the post-fight press conferences hinted towards Dana White that he wants to fight in November. That's a 2-month difference, but we'll ignore that for now. Koscheck took on UFC Hall of Famer Matt Hughes. Whew, what a fight. I mean, these guys came out swinging to open it up. I thought Hughes was going to try to wrestle him to the ground, show that why he's one of the greatest grapplers ever. He's a welterweight legend. He pretty much made that division. But these guys stood up and went at it, and both of them tried a little takedown. Nothing happened, and then Koscheck caught him once, and then he went to the ground and started pounding around Hughes, and then Hughes went unconscious. It was a great knockout, great way, just a quick first round. Didn't expect it to happen in the first round, but it did. And then, the fight that everyone was waiting for, John Jones, Rampage Jackson. What a fight. 4 rounds, actually, my bad, not 3. 4 rounds. First 3, a lot of back and forth action, a lot of both of them standing up, both of them try to, go for a takedown, get their game plan going. 4th round was all Jones. Used his height, used his reach, used his speed, used his skill, used everything that he has to show that he's the light heavyweight champion for a reason, and he took it to Rampage. I mean, he got in his submission and made Rampage tap. I, for one, can't remember the last time Rampage tapped, so I looked it up, and it's been over 10 years since Jackson was submitted, and that's a long time. So for Jones, who's only 24, to do that to him, very impressive. Okay, that was UFC 135. Let's go to the news outside the octagon. UFC 139. The press conference was down in San Pedro Market, down in San Jose. Big day for the UFC fans in Northern California. I mean, you had MMA legend and Northern California icon Kung Lee there. He's taking on Wanderlei Silva on the card. He was there. Dan Henderson, American legend, MMA legend, Pride champion, Strikeforce champion, UFC champion. He was there. He's gonna be taking on Mauricio Rua, who was there as well. Dana White was there, of course. President of UFC has to be there. Highlights of the press conference for me. I wasn't personally there, but followed along on Twitter, saw a lot of the video recap. Best thing in my mind was the fact that when a fan asked if Josh Koscheck would be allowed to fight on the UFC card in November, Dana White's pretty much said that, hey, if he's willing to fight John Fitch, then we could put those guys on the card in San Jose. Problem is, Fitch caused both AKA guys, and they're really known to not really want to fight one another. But afterwards, Dana White was pulled aside by some members in the media, talked one-on-one with all of them. He was asked, can you explain a little bit more? He's like, they're both at 170. If they were serious about getting titles, then, they got to be able to fight one another. He has a point. I mean, teammates, there's going to be a time where you want a title and your teammate has a title. You either back up, don't go for it, or, you just put teammates and friendships aside and say, hey, I want that goal. I'm going to go for it. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does for that card. But, it's already stacked. That card is already exciting. Hendo, Rua, Lee, Silva, not to mention Uriah Faber up in Northern California from Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, going against Brian Boyles. Northern California heavy card. Kyle Kingsbury, also from AK, is on the card as well. He's going to be in the prelims, but hopefully he might move him up to the main card if it doesn't get filled up. Okay, that was the press conference on Tuesday. Now back to the fights. UFC Ultimate Fighter 14, Season 14, Episode 2. It was, to say the least, a very entertaining episode. It's good to see the guys get in the house and really, distance themselves from each other. Like, Team Miller was with Team Miller. Team Bisbee was a Team Bisbee. And, it was a really good episode. I mean, Jason Miller was up to his old antics once again. Sorry about that. Him and his team put all the tires in the training center into Team Bisbee change room. Bisbee, of course, didn't like it, but you know what? It's Miller. You gotta expect it. He's a little juvenile, but always entertaining. Okay, forget about the coaches and forget about the out of the cage stuff. To the fight. Marcus Brimage, stand-up striker, really strong striker. He knocked out his opponent quick to get inside the house. Brian Cartwright, not a lot of people like the way he got inside the house because he pretty much took the first round and didn't do anything in the second round. People say he didn't have a killer instinct. Head-to-head, this time it was very different. I mean, during the weigh-ins, you knew it was going to be a different atmosphere. You knew the season was going to be different during the weigh-ins when Team Bisbee started doing a little chant for the one they call Darkness to get him hype. It was entertaining, but you know what? They kind of pushed some buttons, and Cartwright came out a little upset. But he used the chant to really help him out, to motivate him to really take that fight. To the fight, first round, Brimage couldn't do anything. He tried to strike. Cartwright just shot in, took him down, pretty much controlled 2 or 3 minutes of that fight with his wrestling and grappling and jiu-jitsu skills. Both guys came out second round. Both guys came out a little exhausted. Cartwright seemed a little bit more exhausted, though. I don't know why. He pretty much had control of the first round. Pretty much took a lot of the wind out of Brimage, who was trying to fight out of it. Second round, it was just Brimage tried to strike a little bit, couldn't really get it. Cartwright shot in once again, took him down, and then got to Brimage's back. And then I thought Cartwright was going to sit there and just pound away, but nope. Cartwright got in the choke, ended the fight quick. Second round submission, Cartwright moves on, Brimage is out. That's it. I mean, this season looks good so far. I'm waiting for episode 3 next week. It's going to be very exciting. Moving on to the guys that are already in the UFC. Dominic Cruz, Demetrius Johnson for Cruz's title. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Cruz is one of those fighters that if he dictates how it goes, he's going to win the bout, and I feel like that can happen this week. Even though that's the title fight for me, one of the card I'm looking forward to is Anthony Rumble Johnson making his return to the UFC. He's been one of my favorite fighters for a while. I haven't seen him fight in a long time. He's had some issues in the past with cutting weight, but I feel like this time he's fighting the weight class that is better for him, and he's more prepared, and he feels a lot good. He feels a lot better about it. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I'll have a recap of that bout next week, and I'll have a recap of episode 3 of Top 14 next week as well, and also a little preview of UFC 136. That does it for this episode. Follow me on Twitter at Nitesh Dutt. You can see my link down below. Other than that, have a good week, you guys. Keep it going.